Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Rob Richards, and within today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Powertec lat tower option. A really great hybrid system that connects with three of our different racks: the half rack, the roller smith, and the power rack, allowing us to add both a high cable and low cable pulley system into these racks. Let's start by taking a look at the lat tower option itself. Now, it comes standard with the Olympic weight horns, allowing up to 300 pounds to be added through the use of plates. We also have the option to include the 190 pound selectorized weight stack, which gives this machine a total max weight capacity of 500 pounds when using the weight stack in conjunction with the weight horns. Also, Powertec offers a 1-inch weight horn adapter, so if you have the standard 1-inch plates, you can switch out these 2-inch Olympic horns and make use with the weights you have with the 1-inch weight adapter. We have access to a high cable pulley with our long bar, as well as using our extension cable and short bar, both of which come standard with the lat tower option, that we can also use with a lower cable pulley as well, giving us the option to perform exercises such as lat pull down, tricep press down, seated cable row, bicep curl, and many other variations. Now, just in case you were wondering, the lat tower option needs to be connected to one of our three Powertec racks. You can't use the lat tower option as standard. So throughout this video, I'll be showing you all the different racks that it can lock into, including any connectors that may be needed as well to connect that to the rack, as well as having a look at some of the optional extras that you can add onto these racks to really transform the lat tower option and the rack into a great home workout station. Let's get started with our first rack, the workbench half rack. Here we can see the lat tower option attached to the Powertec workbench half rack, making great use of both cables and free weight barbell exercises. Now, I've got this half rack set up with the FID utility bench and also the utility bench connector, an optional extra to allow us to securely lock in the bench for a number of barbell and cable-based exercises. But as we'll see later in the video, this is also necessary for use of the low row footplate when performing seated rows with the low cable pulley. When connecting the lat tower option to the workbench half rack, you will need the optional half rack connector to be able to connect the two together. With the lat tower option connected to our Powertec workbench half rack, this makes for a great alternative to our full-size power rack, especially if you're limited on space. We have J-hooks that are removable, and we can lock these into any number of our 19 different positions, including down here for really great half rack and deadlift type exercises. It also comes standard with our support racks, which again can be changed and positioned to any number of our lock positions up on the bar, giving us that safety when performing exercises such as squats and bench press, even shoulder presses. Perfect for when we're training at home, usually on our own, and we have that safety support to be able to really load up the weight, knowing that if we reach failure, the safety bar is going to support that weight, allowing us to exit safely away from the machine. We also have a multi-grip pull-up bar, allowing for various hand positions, overhand, neutral, and underhand. And really useful, the weight horns at the back here, which I like to keep my weights on when not in use. You also have the option of adding the optional dip bars to be able to perform some great chest, shoulder, and tricep exercises on the half rack. Okay, so now let's get some weight onto the weight horns at the back to allow me to demonstrate a number of exercises with the high cable pulley and the low cable pulley. And then after, I'll showcase some of the exercises and optional extras possible with the workbench half rack. Let's get started with our high cable feature on the lat tower option. To start with, we've got a great option to hold that lat handle here, keeps it out the way, and to allow us to make use of the cable pulley for things like tricep press downs. So let's lock our long bar on. As we come down here, you can already see I've got the bench locked in, so that's nice and stable in that position. So we can adjust our thigh pad here, making sure that we're really locked in. Personally, I prefer my feet on here. It gives me a little bit more coverage and allows me to really lock in my thighs. I've also got the short bar and extension chain attached to the lower cable pulley, which we can simply keep out the way. And I'll show you in just a minute how we can make use of that with the bench in place. So now with our thigh pad locked in, let's reach up for the bar and I'll demonstrate a lat pull down. Now, one thing I really like about the bench connected is that it gives me that extra length to really shift my body weight back, giving me great variation of the lat pull down in a way that I wouldn't be able to perform on a standard lat pull down machine where I've got limited bench. And of course we can change grip position, focusing more on the biceps and the inner region of the back here. Even without that weight stack and just using the weight plates on the horns, it's a really nice smooth movement. And you certainly feel it in the back when performing a lat pull down. Nice and stable, and inspires you to make use of the full 300 pounds capacity on the weight horns. Now, let me demonstrate how we can make use of the lower cable pulley with our bench connected. And for that, all I need to do is pull our T-lock here, pull, drop the bench down. Now I have access sitting on the back of the seat to the low cable row, giving me a really fantastic seated row. So let's check it out. Now, a great benefit of performing an elevated seated row like this, elevated meaning that my hips, the position that I'm sat, is higher than the cable pulley itself, as opposed to me seated on the floor, is that I feel this movement a lot more in the midsection of my back, which is typically quite difficult to reach and focus on. But exercises like this elevated low row really allows me to hit that. And of course, I can change up the handle here for a number of aftermarket attachments, D-grip, or other various attachments to really allow me variations to work my back. But we're not done there. If I bring the bench back to a flat position, like so, I still have enough room for that lower cable pulley with the bench locked in to perform a really great tricep extension. And for that, I'm going to reposition the thigh pad out the way. Take hold of the handle. Okay, now let's remove the bench from our utility bench connector. I'll demonstrate some of the exercises that we can perform with the lat tower option without the bench in place, and then we'll move on and have a look at some of the exercises that we can perform on the workbench half rack. Now with the workbench removed, it gives me access to both the low cable pulley and the high cable pulley, allowing for exercises such as a standing bar curl, various rows using an overhand and an underhand grip. And also we can attach the lat tower option to the workbench without needing the utility bench. Again, this is an optional extra that allows us to lock in the workbench and also make use of the low row foot plate, but it can be assembled without giving us a nice clean line here to get nice and close to the machine. Now, to make use of the top cable pulley, I like to use the extension chain and the short bar, storing the long bar in our place up there, allowing for our tricep press down variations. Underhand. And one of my personal favorites, abdominals, doing a high cable abdominal crunch. Realistically, any exercise that you can imagine using either a high cable pulley or a low cable pulley, you can make use of with the lat tower option when attached to one of our half racks, power racks, or roller smiths. Now we have the lat tower option connected to our workbench roller smith, which has a 1,000 pound weight capacity. The bar itself, with its fixed Olympic size horns, weighs 45 pounds without any weight, and an ultra smooth carriage system allowing for a smooth and quiet transition up and down. We also have these safety supports which we can arrange and lock any number of the 12 different positions. With that being said, let's check out a number of exercises that we can perform on the roller smith. One of the features I really like on the roller smith, given its 15-degree tilt back, is when you perform a squat, you can actually step much further forwards with your feet than you might with a typical barbell or a vertical Smith machine-like squat. And in doing so, this takes a lot of the pressure off of the knees and the lower back and really makes you feel it on the quads, the front of the upper legs, which is the primary muscle worked with this exercise. Now keep in mind, you will need the roller smith connector to be able to attach the lat tower option to the workbench roller smith. Here we have the lat tower option connected to the workbench power rack, which as you can see has many of the optional extras included on that. More on that later. To attach the lat tower option to the power rack, the great thing is you don't need any connectors. So if you already have the power rack, if you were to add the lat tower option on, they bolt straight together without any other connectors needed. Now we've already looked throughout the video ways in which you can perform your lat pull downs, your low cable rows with the lat tower option. For this part of the video, I'd like to just focus on a few of the exercises that we can perform on the power rack, starting with what comes standard with the power rack. Now with our latest model, we do get the new and improved multi-grip pull-up bar, allowing for various hand grip positions from wide pull-ups, chin-ups, and several different neutral positions on handles as well. We also get the J-hooks, which are rated at 1,000 pound max weight capacity. So no problem there doing your deadlifts, your bench presses, your rows, and any other barbell exercises that you might be using a lot of weight with. Now, speaking of max weight, you also get your safety bar connectors standard as well as your weight horns either side of the bench and your dip bars to really hit triceps, chest, and shoulders as well. Now let's finish off the video by taking a look at some of the optional extras that you can add on to your workbench power rack, starting with this, your landmine attachment. This is great for adding a barbell in and performing everything from V-bar rows to other landmine exercises where it's pivoting at the bottom. And we also have a landmine handle, allowing you to do neutral and wide grip T-bar rows. You'll see here, either side, we have the optional band pegs attached. These are great if you want to add resistance bands and attach them to the barbell for banded barbell rows, shoulder presses, squats, and any other barbell exercises that can be performed within the rack. One of the optional extras I really like are these, the extended safety bar catchers that allow you to reposition any number of the holes to be able to perform barbell exercises safely outside from the rack. Over here, you can see our rope attachment, which allows us to make use of battle ropes and wall ropes for some really great cardiovascular and upper body exercises. We have a band attachment here to allow us both back and front access to attach resistance bands or any other tubular bands through for various mobility and stretch-based exercises. And we also have an option to add a step-up plate to allow for dumbbell step-ups or various platform-based exercises. So there we have it, the Powertec lat tower option, as seen on 3 of our different rack options, the half rack, the roller smith, and the power rack. You'll find all the information in the video description below, including links to all of the attachments, connectors, and accessories that you've seen within this video, as well as I'm sure you've seen by now, timestamps to each of the different machine setups and all the information you need to know about connecting the lat tower option to the rack. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this style of in-depth review by dropping me a comment below. Hit that like button if you like this video, and make sure you subscribe to Powertec's YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with all of our deep dives, overviews, assemblies, and many of our athletes that we bring into our studio in HQ to demonstrate the Powertec machines. Stay strong, stay healthy. I'll see you back here soon. Take care.